Are you ready to turn heads? Luxury isn't just worn, it's experienced. Introducing a Layla Cara style and new up-and-coming designer collection where exclusive shoes and bags for men and women meets your feet. How about you take a handbag and wear it in style, where each piece is personally designed by a Layla Cara herself and handcrafted from the finest material in Italy. Leather, smooth like butter, bold, timeless, distinctly you. Step into true elegance and make your mark with a Layla Cara style where confidence meets craftsmanship. Visit a Layla Cara style and experience the luxury of art that you wear.
Chapter 5, Narcissism in the Digital Age. So as we all know that we are dealing with narcissism, but even though most of the time a person who's narcissistic and you're dealing with them, this usually be up close and personal. But in this day and time, we have to consider that it's also on the social media platforms, emails, text messages, all those things has an important role in your psyche. And the reason why I say that is because if you ever think about when you read something that someone say to you, it penetrates your mind quicker than just hearing someone say something to you. And the reason for that is because you're taking the time out of whatever you're doing to put focus into the words that you're reading. And when you do that, it absorbs itself in your psyche to a point to where it's hard to get it out. That's why you got to be careful with what you allow go into your mind. If you know you're dealing with a narcissist and they write you text messages or they send you any kind of emails, it'd be best to not open them. Sometimes it'd be great to just make it to where it's unread. Don't read it. Just ignore it. Because once it's in your mind, you have to deal with the situation of the thoughts that comes afterwards. And it usually have a profound effect on the way the rest of your day is going to go. So let's go ahead and do chapter 5. Let's read chapter 5. Well, listen to chapter 5.
Chapter 5, Narcissism in the Digital Age. Let's delve into the topic of narcissism in the digital age. The advent of digital technologies and social media has undoubtedly influenced various aspects of human behavior, including narcissistic tendencies. Self-presentation. Social media platforms provide individuals with the opportunity to curate and present their lives to a wide audience. This can lead to the cultivation of an idealized self-image, contributing to narcissistic traits. Validation and attention-seeking. The digital age has made it easier for individuals to seek validation and attention online through likes, comments, and shares. This constant feedback loop can reinforce narcissistic behaviors, as individuals may become dependent on external validation. Comparison culture. Social media often fosters a culture of comparison, where individuals compare their lives to others based on curated online content. This can contribute to narcissistic tendencies as people strive to present themselves as superior or more successful than their peers. Online relationships. Digital communication allows for the creation and maintenance of relationships without physical proximity. This can impact the quality of relationships, as individuals may prioritize self-presentation over genuine connection, leading to superficial interactions. Impact on mental health. The constant exposure to carefully curated images and narratives on social media can contribute to feelings of inadequacy and low self-esteem. This, in turn, may fuel narcissistic tendencies as individuals try to compensate for perceived shortcomings. Digital detox and awareness. Some argue that a conscious effort to take breaks from digital platforms, known as a digital detox, can help individuals become more aware of their behaviors and reduce narcissistic tendencies associated with online interactions. What are your thoughts on how the digital age has influenced narcissism, and do you see any potential solutions or ways to mitigate its negative effects? Social media and its impact on narcissistic behavior. The impact of social media on narcissistic behavior. Social media platforms have become integral parts of our daily lives, and their influence on individual behavior, including narcissism, is a subject of considerable interest. Self-promotion and image crafting. Social media platforms provide users with tools to carefully curate and present their lives. This can lead to a form of self-promotion where individuals highlight their achievements and positive aspects while downplaying or omitting less favorable aspects. This constant image crafting may contribute to narcissistic tendencies. Validation and likes. The like and approval culture on social media platforms can reinforce narcissistic behavior. The number of likes, comments, and shares a post receives can become a measure of one's worth, leading individuals to seek constant validation and attention. Comparisons and envy. Social media often exposes individuals to the seemingly perfect lives of others. Constant exposure to curated content can lead to social comparison, where individuals measure their success and happiness against others. This may fuel narcissistic tendencies as individuals strive to outshine or compete with their online peers. Attention-seeking behaviors. The instant feedback loop on social media encourages attention-seeking behaviors. Some individuals may engage in provocative or exaggerated actions to grab attention, reinforcing narcissistic tendencies driven by a desire for constant admiration. Impact on relationships. Social media can affect the quality of relationships. Individuals may prioritize online interactions over face-to-face connections, leading to superficial relationships. Narcissistic tendencies may manifest in a focus on self-presentation rather than genuine connection. Be on the lookout for that, and do not ignore it. Cyberbullying and trolling. The anonymity provided by social media can lead to negative behaviors such as cyberbullying and trolling. Individuals with narcissistic traits may engage in these activities to assert dominance or control over others. Self-esteem and mental health. While seeking validation online, individuals may experience fluctuations in self-esteem based on their digital interactions. The pressure to maintain a positive online image can contribute to anxiety and stress, potentially exacerbating narcissistic tendencies. It's important to note that not everyone using social media exhibits narcissistic behavior, and the impact varies from person to person. How do you perceive the relationship between social media and narcissistic behavior? Are there aspects that you find particularly concerning or positive in your relationship right now? Do not overlook the concerns you are having. Look deeper into them. You will be surprised at what you may find. But only do it if you are ready to let go of the relationship if you find something that is unhealthy. Online validation and the creation of a curated self-image. The phenomenon of online validation and the creation of a curated self-image on social media. Online validation. Likes and comments. Social media platforms often use features such as likes, comments, and shares to provide instant feedback. Individuals may seek these interactions as a form of validation, and the quantity can become a measure of self-worth. FOMO, fear of missing out. The fear of missing out on social events or experiences, often fueled by posts on social media, can drive individuals to seek validation through participation and documentation of their own activities. Curated self-image. Selective sharing. Users have the ability to selectively share content, allowing them to present a carefully curated version of their lives. This may involve showcasing positive experiences, achievements, and attractive aspects, while omitting less favorable or mundane aspects. Filters and editing. The use of filters and photo editing tools allows individuals to enhance their appearance and create visually appealing content. This contributes to the creation of an idealized self-image that may not accurately reflect reality. Personal branding. Some individuals consciously build a personal brand on social media, shaping their online persona to align with specific qualities or interests. This branding can be a strategic effort to garner attention and validation. Psychological impact. Self-esteem. The pursuit of online validation can impact self-esteem. A lack of engagement or negative feedback may lead to feelings of inadequacy, while positive interactions can boost confidence. Comparison culture. The constant exposure to curated self-images of others can foster social comparison, potentially leading to feelings of envy, inadequacy, or the desire to compete in terms of lifestyle and achievements. Social media platforms' role. Algorithmic influence. Social media algorithms often prioritize content that receives more engagement, creating a cycle where popular individuals receive even more visibility and validation. Gamification elements. Some platforms incorporate gamification elements, such as badges or rewards for consistent posting, which can drive individuals to seek validation through continued participation. Balancing authenticity. Authenticity versus image crafting. Finding a balance between authenticity and image crafting is crucial. Some individuals choose to share vulnerabilities and imperfections, promoting a more authentic online presence. Impact on mental health. The constant effort to maintain a curated self-image can contribute to stress and anxiety, affecting mental health. Understanding the dynamics of online validation and curated self-images can shed light on the complex relationship between social media use and individual well-being. What are your thoughts on this phenomenon, and do you see any potential implications or solutions? The rise of cyber-narcissism. The rise of cyber-narcissism refers to the increasing prevalence of narcissistic behavior in online environments, particularly facilitated by the use of digital platforms and social media. Here are some key aspects associated with the phenomenon. Digital self-presentation. Exaggerated self-image. Online spaces provide individuals with the opportunity to present an idealized and exaggerated version of themselves. This can contribute to the manifestation of narcissistic tendencies as individuals seek to portray themselves as superior or exceptional. Image-centric platforms. The popularity of visually oriented platforms, where images and videos play a central role, encourages a focus on appearance and self-presentation. Cyber-narcissists may prioritize aesthetics over genuine content. Validation and attention-seeking.
We'll be back after a quick break.
If you haven't already, check out my luxury shoe and bag collection, a Layla Cara style. Each piece is personally designed by me and handcrafted from genuine Italian leather. Whether you're dressing up or keeping it casual, these pieces were made to help you walk with confidence. Because real style starts from how you feel. Go to alaylacarolstyle.com and experience these bold, timeless, and completely all you. Check it out. You might find something you like.
Quantifiable metrics. The metrics provided by social media platforms, such as likes, comments, and followers, become quantifiable measures of popularity and social status. Cyber narcissists may engage in attention-seeking behaviors to boost these metrics and validate their self-worth. Continuous feedback loop. The instant and continuous feedback loop on social media can create a dependency on external validation, driving individuals to seek constant affirmation and admiration. Relationship dynamics. Superficial connections. The online environment can contribute to the formation of superficial connections, where individuals prioritize self-promotion and image crafting over genuine interpersonal relationships. Cyber narcissists may view relationships as a means to gain admiration rather than fostering meaningful connections. Exploitation of others. In extreme cases, cyber narcissists may exploit others for personal gain, using relationships and interactions strategically to further their own agendas. Impact on offline behavior. Blurring of real and virtual identities. The distinction between real-life and online personas may become blurred for cyber narcissists. The behaviors exhibited in digital spaces may influence offline actions, and vice versa. Perpetuation of narcissistic traits. The constant reinforcement of narcissistic tendencies in online environments can contribute to the perpetuation of these traits in individuals' overall behavior. Psychological factors. Underlying insecurities. Despite outward displays of confidence, cyber narcissists may harbor underlying insecurities. The online environment becomes a means of compensating for these insecurities through the cultivation of a grandiose self-image. Lack of empathy. Narcissistic tendencies, including a lack of empathy for others, may be exacerbated in online interactions where the consequences of behavior may feel less immediate or tangible. Understanding the rise of cyber narcissism is crucial for recognizing potential challenges associated with online interactions and promoting healthier digital environments. It's worth noting that not everyone engaging in online self-promotion or seeking validation is a cyber narcissist, and the impact can vary across individuals. What are your thoughts on this phenomenon, and have you observed any specific instances or trends related to cyber narcissism? If you have observed any specific instances or trends related to cyber narcissism, you may need to consider backing away from this person and not letting them know your real-time locations, especially where you live and work at. Blocking my husband on all my social media accounts. When I met Nikita on Facebook, I went through his profile to see what he was up to and who he had shown himself to be to the world. What I saw was a man well-dressed in suits and well-groomed. He had videos and photos of himself on stage singing in a band and performing to a large crowd. As I dug deeper into his profile, he had photographs of his family and children. I wanted to know if he was dating or married. I didn't see any evidence of that, so I continued to talk with him over the phone. After spending some real time with him, I'd notice how every time I would post anything on my Facebook wall, he would comment on it. Sometime it would be on the post itself, and most of the time it would be over the phone. He would call me to express his thoughts about the post and the other males who would respond to my post. One day I posted a before and after picture of me at age 15 teen and at age 30. A childhood friend commented on my post saying, "Fine as wine." Shortly after he commented, "Nikita called my phone, fine as wine. What does he mean by that? Who is that guy?" he expressed with animosity in his tone. I grew up with that guy. He used to see me running around with pigtails and looking rough as a kid. He was only stating the obvious that I have not aged much. What is your issue? I don't like it when men have something to say about my woman. Did you have sex with him? I cannot believe you are going there with me again. No, I have not been with that guy. Like I said, he is a childhood friend. After I got off the phone with Nikita, I made it my mission to go through all my social media accounts across the board and block him from seeing any of my posts. I was not going to continue to go back and forth with him over anything else on my pages that belonged to me way before I had met him. I didn't like having to do that, but I knew it was for the best for the sake of keeping the peace. Chapter 6, The Empath's Dilemma.
So, that was chapter 5, and when I decided to block Nikita from my social media's account, I didn't know that it was going to get to a point where I felt that I had to be real careful about everything that I post. It did get to that point, and it was so uncomfortable knowing that I was being spied on by my own husband. And with me being a flight attendant, I used to have to be cautious about where I would post pictures of me when I went out to eat. Because there was one time when I went out to eat with the pilots, and I also went out to eat with the flight attendant. And it was 3 of us together. And the captain, he didn't come. He stayed back. But the first officer and the flight attendant, they both was male. And I took a picture of my food, and you can see the food that they had as well, which was 2, they also had 2 beers. So both of the guys had drunk beers, and I don't really drink beer like that. I will drink beer, but I don't really care for it that much. I'm more of a martini girl. So I had my martini. So he saw just that picture. He didn't see the people. He just saw the food. And he automatically was like, who you out there with? You with some guys? I can tell you with some guys because they're drinking beers and all this stuff. And what he didn't realize was that both of the 2 guys were gay, and they liked each other. And they was literally feeding each other across the table while I'm sitting there. And I'm like, this dude who I'm married to has no idea who I am with. But yet, because they're males, he automatically assumed that something is going on. And I knew that I had to be even more strict about what I post, because some of the things that I post, although he didn't always say something about it at the time, it will come up later in an argument. And that could be like a few days later. It can be a few weeks later, or even a month later. And then I will be aware that, oh, he saw that post that I post. And how I know? Because he had more than one page. I went back through my social media and I put all the names that I know he called himself, from Key to Nick to just Samson. That's his, well, stuff like that. The things that he calls himself. I had to go and find all those pages and block those pages too. And I was like, how many pages do a person need? That's a red flag right there. If a person have too many pages, it's okay to have 2 pages like on Facebook. Because back then, Facebook would only allow you to have up to 5,000 friends. So when you got to that 5,000 mark, you couldn't add nobody else. So it was understandable to go and get another page to continue to add in people. But now it's not like that anymore. Now it's just followers, so you can have as many followers as you want, which makes it a whole lot easier to just have only one page. And I'm telling you, it was stressful. So in this digital age that we're living in, it would be best to sometime take a break from social media. And I call that, the name that I call that is social detox. To detox yourself from social media. Sometimes it's good to just come back to reality and to the world that you're actually living in, and just keep certain things offline so you don't have that stress when you are at home with your spouse or whatever. And if you find yourself constantly keep going through those things with your spouse, then you might have to block them. And it's okay to block. I mean, what can they do besides try to make you unblock? And if it comes to that point, there's ways around that. You can unblock them and only allow them to see what you want them to see. But you still got to be cautious to what you post, because you can post something and they see it and then they're mad at you about it. It should never get to that point. That's what I'm trying to say. It should never get to that point. And if you're there, then you are dealing with a narcissist. You are dealing with someone who is controlling. You're dealing with someone who has insecurities, and you're not responsible for their security as far as their mental security. You're not responsible for that. That is what they are responsible for. And you cannot fix them. If you're in a relationship with a narcissist, you cannot fix them. You just can't. No matter how much you do, how much you try, you cannot fix a narcissist. That person have to go and get some real help. I mean, some professional help. You're not going to be able to do it. Even if you are a psychiatrist yourself or you are a life coach yourself, just because you're in the relationship with that person, they will never value you as being professional, and they will never value your opinion or even your evaluation of them. They will not value that, so you still can't help them. They only will value someone they don't know, and it's sad to say, but that's the way that goes. Just like having a child. You're the parent, you tell the kid something and you keep telling them something and they don't listen to that. And then some stranger come along and tell them exactly the same thing that you have told them, but they come back to you and say, hey, so-and-so, so Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so told me such and such and such. And you say, wait a minute, that's exactly what I've been telling you. And they just take it differently when a stranger is talking to them about things that they need to change or things they need to do. So I hope that this helped. And chapter 6 is about the empath dilemma. So I'm going to talk about being an empath. I am an empath. Yes, I am. And this is the reason why I stayed in that relationship and that marriage as long as I did. I was with him for a total of 5 years. And in the 5 years, I went through a lot of emotional stress with this man. So let's get to the next chapter.
Are you feeling overwhelmed and exhausted by stress? Introducing stress management with imaging coaching, your ticket to a calmer, more balanced life. In this journey, you will be taken with us here at Imaging Coaching. We'll equip you with powerful techniques and tools you can use to conquer stress, regain control, and transform your life. From deep breathing exercises to mindfulness practices, you'll discover the tools to relax your mind and body. Come join us on this transformative path and unlock a world of inner peace and resilience. Don't let stress hold you back any longer. Take charge of your well-being today with Imaging Coaching, your stress management team. Discover clarity. Defeat stress through Imaging Coaching at imagingcoaching.com, at imagingcoaching.com, at imagingcoaching.com, at imagingcoaching.com.